Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I'm flying solo today. Janice is off taking care of some personal stuff, and I just wanted to pop in here and let you know what's going on this week. Um, Let me just make sure that I am muted on the live replay. And I believe I am because I don't hear it anywhere. And also let me make sure I have the right headset on because I have two, one that goes to my phone and one that I use for uh, doing videos. So I got a couple of things to talk about this week. One is a question from Heather in the group. She wanted to know how to just avoid that whole, oh, look, that's so pretty, and staying on task. Well, as you all know, I have as much of a problem with that as any of you. I think it's only natural considering what we do. I mean, we're definitely very into creative and making, and it's really easy to get sidetracked. And what I've done lately, um, and it's really seemed to work, but it's also quite the attitude change. I have literally limited myself to two whips. One short, simple, easy, sweet, and one bigger, more complicated project. My short, simple, easy, sweet is knitted dishcloths. Mother's Day is coming along here pretty soon, and I already have had a bunch of people ask me down at the gift shop at the greenhouse if I was going to have more dishcloths available. So my short, simple, easy, sweet, mindless is knitted dishcloths. My bigger, more complicated are crocheted amigurumi, and I've shown you some pictures of my mermaid that I've been working on, and she's very detailed, and she takes a lot of time and concentration. So I put the focus kind of like at the end of my nose as to what I'm doing, and I really do. It's two whips. Now, to help me do that, um, I stay the hell away from Pinterest, um, honestly, and Ravelry, because I mean, I get there and it's like I totally get it, Heather. It's like, oh my God, that's so pretty. I want to make that, and then whatever we're working on gets tossed to the wayside, and we start something new. So I only allow myself to get on Pinterest or Ravelry for about a half hour, um, 2, maybe 3 nights a week. It's like every other night, and I will pin stuff. I have a secret board, and it's like I have knitting stuff and crochet stuff, and I put the pins there, and I don't go get the pattern unless it's something that I know is going to be next in my queue. So it really has. I've put blinders on, and that has helped. Um, it it doesn't mean that I still don't get that, oh my God, this is beautiful feeling, because I certainly do. But it's just a mindset, because I mean, for a while I had like 6 or 8 projects going, and it was driving me nuts. because I felt like I wasn't getting anything accomplished because I just had too much going on, in my opinion, for me. Um, and it was like, okay, I really got to do something about this. And I just did. I just took that whole focus and put it on to getting things done. Um, and it's really helped. I started doing this, oh, probably the 1st of December. And yes, it's really hard to change that mindset. And I certainly won't, it, you know, I yeah, it's hard to change that mindset. It's hard to change the mindset over the squirrel or, oh, this is so pretty. Um, just like it is to focus in on our bookkeeping, okay, which is the next thing I want to talk about. Um, Everything went to our CPA yesterday for our personal tax return, for the software business, and for fanciful things. So all of my bookkeeping is done. Everything is balanced, everything's squared away, and I'm just done. Now, I know some of you, you're not at that point yet. And tomorrow's blog post is going to be about just getting it done. And I actually devised or designed, I guess, if you want to call it, I call it the get it done bookkeeping spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a second. Let me just share my screen. There it is. So here it is. I'm going to hold on just a sec while I try and make this a little bigger. There we go. So I can tell if it's like fitting in the window. So I've put in all the formulas. There are all the things that are sitting here with zeros right now. I've put in some example categories. Okay, so you've got your income categories, and by all means, go ahead and change these to meet your needs. And there's a video that's I'm uploading to YouTube when I get off here that's going to show you how to use this spreadsheet. But it's divided into income, cost of goods, and it even looks like a true P&L that would come out of an accounting program. So let me talk to you a little bit about accounting. You have your total gross income. You subtract out your cost of goods, and that gives you an adjusted gross income. Then you come and you add in all of your expenses, and your expenses are deducted from that adjusted gross. And then finally, you add in your other revenue streams, whether it's commissions or affiliate program commissions, you add that in, and then you get your net income. Now, net income is what you're going to be taxed on, okay? And you want to figure about 33% of that net income is going to be taxes. Now, there's another piece down here at the bottom. and I just call it other tax related information because it is other things that you need to know about your business. You need to know how much money you contributed out of your own pocket to keep your business afloat. You need to know how much money you've taken out of the business to repay yourself. You need to know how much you spent in assets. You need to know how much money in sales tax that you collected, as well as the amount of sales tax that you paid throughout the year. So all of these things, you're going to, like I've said before, last week's blog post, get all of your expenses, get all of your income account reports, and start entering this information into this spreadsheet. Now, you'll notice in the cost of goods sold section, there's an inventory purchased. That's just strictly for your own reference, because when you file a Schedule C, okay, it's going to ask you the value of your inventory as of January 1, 2018. It's going to want to know how much inventory you purchased during 2018. And this spreadsheet is designed to populate the amounts right into this field. And I'll show you. So let's just say we have $5 for ha-has in inventory purchased. When you come over here, you're going to see it's tallying up the amount of your inventory purchases. Okay. Now, the next thing you need to know is how much you've taken out of your stash for personal use. So, let's say out of this $5, we took $2 worth of inventory out for our personal use. Okay. And this isn't going to do any math or anything. Okay. It's just, this is information you're going to give to your CPA or use on your Schedule C. Now, at the end of the year, you should have done an inventory, a physical inventory. So here this is the inventory spreadsheet that I've offered in the group, and I just added it here. So if you've completed that, you can put that page right into here, add these new little headings at the top, and copy the formulas. Okay. But these are the pieces of information that you need about inventory in order to do your tax return. And this inventory purchased amount, it's not included in your cost of goods sold totals. This is, like I said, this is strictly for your purposes and to, excuse me, to give you a total value of the inventory that you purchased in 2018. Now, you'll notice up in the income section, there's a spot for sales or promotional discounts. Now, this is really important because, if you sold $100 on Ravelry, okay, that was your gross sales, and you put out promotional discounts where you discounted, say, $50. Oops, and you want to enter that as a negative. Okay, sorry. My brain isn't with me this morning. you've really only made $50 in gross income. And you need to be aware of that. You don't want to look when you're armed with your reports from Ravelry or Etsy or whatever. It, it's important for you to include both of these pieces of information because, you know, maybe you're offering too many promotions, maybe you're offering too steep of a discount because, you could have made $100, but really you only made 50. So keeping this information available to you it helps you make good business decisions. Just like you want to, if we were a maker, okay, and for that $100 in sales, we used $25 out of inventory. Really, we want to look at this and we want to say, oh, holy crap, we've really only made 25 bucks. Um, you know, and that's before you start getting into your normal overhead stuff, your overhead expenses. Let's say, you're spending $3.95 a month to host your website, and you belong to American Crochet Association, and they're charging you $9.95 a month for that subscription, okay, or that membership. Now all of a sudden, you've only made $11.10. So, obviously something is going on that's not right. And if we wait to do our bookkeeping at the end of the year, you know, we're in for a huge surprise and it may not be pleasant. So what I'm going to suggest, and starting next week on the blog, is we're going to talk about changing our tune for 2019. Um, if you take 15 to 30 minutes every week and sit down and do your books, for one, it's going to be all done. And you can see as things go along exactly where you're running into trouble and make good sound decisions of, oh my God, I can't buy any more yarn, or I can't buy any more materials for whatever it is I make. I have to use what is already in my inventory because it's paid for. I can't afford to keep spending money. And I do this, I've been kind of fighting with myself over, do I sign up for a Tailwind subscription to automatically post stuff to Pinterest and Instagram to the tune of about $9.95 a month? Okay, that's not a lot of money. But what's more important to me? Being able to paying for a subscription to Tailwind when I can do pretty much the same thing with Later, which is free, or because I have such a hard time. I have a hard time doing pictures, and I know a lot of it is my own vision. So, is it smarter for me to spend $10 a month on a Canva subscription rather than a Tailwind subscription? And Canva is wonderful. I mean, there's great free stock photos, which is lovely. And if you do the Canva for Business at $9.95 a month, you can create one image, make a copy of it, and resize it. So if I make an image for Instagram, I can copy that and resize it to Pinterest, okay? And without having to start from scratch and do everything all over again. So I decided that it was more practical and a better use of my money to go with Canva than it was to go with Tailwind. Um, so these are the things that you can determine simply by doing your books. And if you do it every week and then reconcile everything every month, at the end of the year, your books are all done. And your books are done when everything is fresh in your mind. And therefore, that end of the year, you know, bookkeeping under pressure deadline is nowhere near as nowhere near as stressful. So this is going to be available tomorrow on the blog, and I will ask you to sign up in order to get it. Only because if I discover problems or if I update it, I want to be able to make sure that I can get you the latest copy. Okay. Um, and we'll just go from there. So other than that, this has kind of been my week. If you can call it that. And I have been sick, so I really have not been productive whatsoever. Um, I've I just haven't had the brain power. Um, and unfortunately, so many things that we do require brain power. But Heather, I hope my little tip about staying on task helped, and it really is. It's a really hard thing to do. I mean, you have to change your mindset. And if you find yourself going to Pinterest in the middle of the day, you have to say, nope, that's it, I'm done. Get me out of here. Right now I need to focus. And I sit and talk to myself all the time. I mean, the dog and the cat kind of look at me like, who are you talking to, Mom? Mom, there's nobody here. Mom, Mom. So, talk to yourself. We can either be our own best company or our own worst enemy. But and if you hear that in the background, my 85-pound boxer is dreaming. And sometimes when he dreams, he sounds like a combination of Larry, Moe, and Curly. Today he's actually pretty quiet. But it's really hard to stay on task, and it's really something that we have to work at every day. So that's it for this week. Sorry I sound so, I don't know, head off in the clouds. But unfortunately, that's the way I feel. My brain has just been fuzzy. So have a lovely week. Look for the blog post tomorrow. Look for the link, the sign up for the Get It Done spreadsheet. And I'll make sure I include the link to go and watch the video on how to use it. So until next week, I hope you all have a great one, and post comments in the group. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would certainly love to hear your feedback about the Get It Done spreadsheet. Okay, that's it. Signing off now. Thanks. Bye.